Welcome to Face the Nation. Since last week's broadcast, the number of deaths due to COVID-19 in the U.S. has quadrupled. In the last 24 hours, there have been more than 1,300 new deaths recorded. The hardest hit areas are by now familiar to you: the Northeast, the West Coast, the South, and some parts of the Midwest, with New York City, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Detroit heavily impacted. Experts say there is a new wave of so-called hotspots coming, expanding areas in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and South, plus states like Indiana and Colorado. CBS News national correspondent Mark Strassmann reports from Atlanta.
Good morning, Margaret. The CDC now recommends wearing face masks in public, something cloth like this bandana, all voluntary. It's the latest shift in our crisis lifestyle. Roughly 95% of Americans now live under orders to stay home, a nation in hibernation.
50 states, 50 front lines, and by far, New York has the worst of America's corona contagion.
All these patients here.
40% of the country's cases and almost half the deaths.
We're not yet at the apex, and if we don't stop the spread, then it's going to burn down our own country.
Governor Cuomo believes New York City is about a week away from the apex. Terrible timing. City hospitals could run out of ventilators within days. Doctors and nurses protested alarming shortages of protective gear: gowns, masks, face shields.
Every day when I go to work, I feel like a sheep going to slaughter.
In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy pleaded for supplies and volunteers.
Clearly, we're in a world of hurt.
Without real-time data, no model can truly predict when any hotspot will peak. But consider the latest trends. COVID-19 deaths quadrupled in both Chicago and Detroit over the last week, and doubled in New Orleans. Overflow corona patients will head to the city's convention center, like the one in New York, converted into a military field hospital. Across America, nearly 20,000 National Guardsmen reinforce COVID-19 response efforts. And for the Coast Guard, it's all hands on deck with cruise ships. In Port Miami, Carnival's Coral Princess today will start letting off more than 1,000 passengers. 2 people died at sea from the virus. Another dozen have tested positive.
This is so sad that all the cruise lines are here.
Right off South Florida's coast, you can see a floating parking lot. In all, 114 cruise ships sail in or near U.S. waters. They carry an unknown number of sick people. America's staring at another grim week. New cases and deaths will spike again. Without a vaccine, social distancing remains key. Only the is done